I hope my voice is perfectly audible to everyone without any disturbance. The confirmation, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me just share the screen with all of you. Okay, let's try to recall that what we had started last time around. We were there into internal rate of return. We had completed the net present value. We had also found the discounted payback period too, right? We have seen the interpretation of all of this. When it comes to net present value, the interpretation was that at a specified rate of return, whether the project should be accepted or not. What was the acceptance and rejection criteria in the NPV? If the NPV was positive, we were accepting the project. If NPV was negative, we were rejecting the project. But to find the NPV, you were supposed to first get the discounting rate, right? If you have the required rate of return, then only you can find the NPV, else you cannot. Then we jumped to IRR. IRR stands for the internal rate of return, where you try to find the exact compounded rate of return you have got from a project. But there were few assumptions taken in the IRR. I'm going to clarify those assumptions that today. Now, in this case, only the inflows and outflows are given to you, and you are supposed to find what is the exact rate of return you have got from that project. Now, I'll come to the assumptions, and based on the assumptions, we will go to the MIRR. After the IRR, we also discussed the discounted payback period, right? Which is also quite similar to NPV, can also be called as the combination of NPV and the payback period. So in the payback period, we were just finding the cumulative cash inflows and outflows. In this case, we are doing the same exercise, but instead of the given values, we are taking the present values of inflows and outflows. Well, now let's go to the MIRR. Now, what is the requirement of MIRR? What this MIRR stands for? MIRR stands for modified internal rate of return. Now, sir, what is this modified internal rate of return? See, internal rate of return we have understood. Now, modification would have happened only because there would have been some deficiencies in the internal rate of return, right? Now, the deficiency and the problem of internal rate of return lies in its assumptions. The fundamental assumption taken by IRR is the problem with IRR. Now, what is the assumption taken by IRR? See, IRR puts cash outflow and cash inflow both on the same paper. Sir, what do we mean by same paper? That means for IRR, the inflows and outflows both will be discounted at the same rate of return. IRR does not differentiate between inflows and outflows. Let's go to one of the sums of IRR. What we were doing in the IRR, we were finding the two rates, right? At one rate, the NPV should be positive, and at another rate, NPV should be negative. So when we were finding the NPV, you must have observed that rate was applied homogeneously, applied in the same fashion even for outflows and for inflows. For inflows as well, you had discounted at say 10% or 15%, and outflows too were discounted at 10 or 15%. So IRR assumes that cash inflows are reinvested at the IRR itself. Cash inflows and outflows, on both of them, the discounting rate applicable is the IRR itself, which is the fundamental assumption of the IRR, and that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. I hope you're getting my point, everyone. May I have a confirmation, please? Have you got what? Have you got the problem? What is the problem with this? Miss Urja is saying, अच्छा डोली ने तो मेरा जेंडर ही चेंज कर दिया बेटा. Anyone else? फाइन फाइन, कोई बात नहीं, होता है. जेंडर चेंज को डिसरिस्पेक्ट नहीं मानना चाहिए. आई डोंट कंसिडर दैट एज अ डिसरिस्पेक्ट. यू नो, बोथ आर इक्वल जेंडर्स. उसमें क्या है? मेल को फीमेल कह दिया तो मेरे कहने से थोड़ी ना हो जाएगा. मैं तो ऐसा सर्वशक्तिमान भगवान तो नहीं हूं कि मैं तथास्तु कह दूं और लोग जेंडर चेंज कर दे. और हो भी जाए तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? बोथ आर इक्वल. एनीवे, लेट्स मूव अहेड. So inflows and outflows both were taken same, you know, and both were discounted at the IRR only. So if you discount your inflows and outflows at IRR, no, then NPV will be 0, because that's what our primary condition was, no, to make the NPV 0. So if you discount all your inflows and outflows at IRR, the NPV will come 0. That means inflows and outflows both are treated equally, which is the wrong assumption. You cannot treat inflows and outflows equally. That's why there was a modification required in the IRR, and that modification is the MIRR. Just give me 1 second. I need to put this laptop on charger. Okay, so now the question arises that, sir, what kind of modification we have done? You are saying that modified. लेकिन modify किया क्या है वो तो बताओ. अच्छा, inflows and outflows are treated differently. Inflows should be discounted at the cost of finance, and the outflows should be discounted at any other reinvestment rate. So if you have got two rates, no, then in that occasion, my friend, just a second, ये भी बंद हो गया, पेन भी. Started. Good. So this outflows should be discounted at the cost of finance. See, whatever the investment you make, no. So for outflows, what matters to you is that what is the finance cost we have incurred for that outflow? Say you have gathered that money from loans and borrowings from a financial institution. Then say the interest rate is 7 or 8% on that. Then you want to recover that 7 or 8% of cost of finance from your outflow. That is your basic purpose behind your outflows recovery, you know. And then when the inflows will occur, no, then inflows will again be reinvested, no, because that's what we assume in this case. 2 lakhs rupees will not be kept idle. It will be reinvested again, whatever the rate of return you get on that, will be reinvested again. So inflows will be reinvested at some different rate. Say that reinvestment will happen at reinvestment rate, or some other rate may be given to you. Now that is the conceptual framework of this IRR, MIRR, sorry. Now sir, what will be the formula of this? The formula of this will be quite similar to a formula of CAGR. What you used to do in the CAGR, try to recall that. Closing value divided by opening value raised to 1 divided by n minus 1. That was the formula of compounded annual growth rate, right? Now MIRR formula will also be looking quite similar to this. Now see, closing value you will be able to get. Here in this case, 10 years are given to you, right? That means you want future value of inflows. That will be your closing value after end of the 10th year. All the inflows, which are the positive cash flows, that will be your closing value of the investment. Let's consider that. And instead of opening value, you will have present value of outflows. Outflows will also be there somewhere in a year 1, year 2, year 3, but we want to go to opening, no? And if we want to go to opening, that means outflows should be discounted. So I'll come to know by this is the present value of my investment, and this is the future value of all the money I will receive from a project. So future value of inflows divided by the present value of outflows. Now future value of inflows will be at which rate? Reinvestment rate. And present value of outflows will be at which rate? Will be at cost of finance rate. That means both the rates are also taken into account. Now once you get that, then everything is same as CAGR. 1 divided by n, and after that minus 1. That is the formula we are deriving. I'm taking you very, very logically, my friends. I don't know that how many more will be taking you to this depth. It would have been pretty easy for me just to convey this formula and then we would have started the question. But I don't want to rectify, you know. I am strictly against the rectifying of everything. It must be understood conceptually, and I have faith on you guys. You can do it. Why not? Let's stretch the boundaries of your intellect. Let's try to run the horses of your intellect. Let's put some focus. Why not? You can do it. So formula can be written like future value of inflows at what rate? At reinvestment rate divided by present value of outflows at what rate? At cost of finance. Please write it down in your book. This is the simplest version of MIRR. I know that many people faces the problem in the interpretation and analytical aspect of MIRR, but none of my students should face it. 1 divided by n, and after that minus 1. Just like the same formula of CAGR. You want the opening value, so opening value must be present value. You want the closing value, so closing value must be future value. But the rate of return for future value and the present value will be taken different. This is the MIRR, modified internal rate of return. Yahan tak. Has everyone got everything? May I have a confirmation, please? Please take a snap of this formula, all of you. A confirmation, please. Are you getting everything till now? Mr. Hardik, Mr. Neve, Mr. Vishal, Ms. Krishka, Mr. Dhaval too, amazing, nice to see. Mr. Mohit too, very good. Nice. जिनको नहीं समझा तो फिर आपके लिए कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं बचता, आपको फॉर्मूला रटना ही पड़ेगा. Sir, how can we do it? Let's go over there. Now Excel has got one MIRR function. It is just so easy to use that you will feel like, sir, ये calculation अपन क्यों कर रहे हैं, इतना easy है find करना तो. What you will do is, you will start with the sign of equals to. I know you don't have the laptop right now. I'm just explaining the Excel part first, and then we'll do the manual calculation. Start with the MIRR, opening the bracket. Let me use a magnifier so that you get it in better way, Good. So say I am finding the MIRR over here, starting with the sign of equals to MIRR, opening the bracket. So the first thing you require is the values. Just select all the negative inflows, outflows and positive cash flows. Obviously, Excel will consider negative as the outflow and positive as the inflow. So selecting all this right from the first to the last one, closing the bracket, no, not closing the bracket, sorry, pressing the comma to go to the next parameter of the syntax. It will ask you the finance rate. So finance rate is which one? 12%. Selecting that, comma. Then it will ask you the reinvestment rate, which is how much? 18%. So selecting that too. Closing the bracket, pressing the enter. How much you have got? Somewhere around 18. Let me just increase decimals a bit. So that is 17.51%. It's as simple as that. But sir, हमें तो मैन्युअली करना है और हमें मालूम भी नहीं है कि वेदर द एग्जामिनेशन विल बी मैन्युअल और ऑनलाइन. Anyway, let's do it manually now. I am writing it in a Excel. You may write it in your paper. I am not writing that by this pen now. So serial number. Then you will require the cash flows. Now you may take positive and negative both together. We will consider it later on. I'm just taking this and copying it over here. You will also write it somewhere. Please, let's write it, all of you. Let me just give you the heading of this column numbers so that you do not get confused. Then we will be requiring the discounting rate or compounding rate. Future value, to find future value, we will be requiring the compounding factor, and to get the present value, we will be requiring the discounting factor. In order to avoid the confusion, you may write it separately in a different column too. Then also it's okay, fine. Let me write it over there in a different column here. First one is my discounting factor. Another one will be my compounding factor. And then PV of outflow and FV of inflow. These two more columns will be there. So this is how your table will be looking like. Now MRR assumes one more thing, is that cash inflows are occurring at the beginning of the period. So if the cash inflows and outflows both are occurring at the beginning of the period, then the discounting factor you take for the first year will be 1, right? Because anyway, it's the present value only. Say you want to reach to opening value, right? and this cash outflow is nothing given to us. So first cash outflow will be the initial investment. If it is an initial investment, then it's a PVC only, it's a present value only. So discounting factor for the first cash outflow will be taken as 1, as simple as that. जब भी हम आउटफ्लो आते थे उस समय पे क्या करते थे, आउटफ्लो को वैसे के वैसे ही ले लेते थे, इफ इट वाज द इनिशियल आउटफ्लो, बिकॉज दैट वाज ऑलरेडी अ प्रेजेंट वैल्यू. So if it is a first outflow, we assume that it's done right now. First outflow is there in a present only. So discounting factor will be 1. For second outflow, the discounting factor will be calculated. But the rate of discounting factor will be 12%. Go to the formula again. Present value of outflow at cost of finance. So at 12% it should be found. So equals to, what you will do over there is 1 divided by 1.12. So that will be a discounting factor of 4 lakhs. And for 1 lakhs, the discounting factor would be 1 divided by 1.12 raised to 2. I am doing it over here in the Excel. You may just cross verify that in your manual calculation. Now there is no requirement to find the discounting factor, because discounting factor is required only for the outflows. Then for inflows, we'll have the compounding factor, right? Good. So friends, at the beginning of the 4th year, if you invest something and you want the value at the beginning of the 10th year, I'm not saying that the end of the 10th year we require, then how many number of periods compounding will take place? It will basically 6 periods. Let me just tell this to you. We want the opening and closing value, right? Closing value will be the outflow at which, the inflow at which 3 lakhs rupees we are realizing in the 10th year. So that will be a date of closing value. So let's consider it from this 2 lakhs. So you get the compounding of 1 year, no, not 6 year, I guess 7 years will take place. I'm sorry. So 4th year, 5th year, 6th year, 7, 8, 9 and 10. तो चौथे साल का आपको पूरा इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा. 5th year's interest will also be given. 6 years interest will also be given. 7, 8, 9 and 10. So it will be 7 years in total. I'm really sorry. So 7 years will be taken as the compounding factors. How do we find the compounding factor? Equals to, please try to recall the future values we used to do. At what rate? 18%, right? So 1.18 raised to 7. See the value of 4th year. You want to know what will be the value after the 10th period. So for how many number of periods compounding will happen? 7. If you can recall it, while we were doing the future value, we were starting from descending order. पहले साल को आपको 5 साल का इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा if investment is for 5 years. Then if something you invest at the 2nd year, then you get the interest for that amount for 4 years. 2nd, 3, 4 and 5, right? Similarly, if I'm investing something in a 4th year, then I will start getting the return from 4th year onwards, and I want the closing value. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10. I will get it for 7 years. So 1.18 closing the bracket raised to 7. So my compounding factor will be 3.1854. The second one, it will be raised to 6, then it will be raised to 5, then it will be raised to 4, then it will be raised to 3, then it will be raised to 2, and last one will be raised to 1. So this is how your compounding factors will be looking like. I know you people will be taking some time in the calculator. Please do it. That's my humble request. This is the last capital budgeting technique, requires some intellect to put. I know it's little difficult to understand, but let's stretch our boundaries, no? Easy सीखने में क्या मजा है? थोड़ा सा टेस्ट हो तभी तो मजा आता है पढ़ने का. Okay. Sir, what will be the present value of outflow now? Equals to outflow multiplied by this discounting rate. So copying that and pasting it down. In your case, you will have to manually multiply this, you know. लेकिन मेरे पास तो एक्सेल है, तो मेरे को करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप लोग करो. PV of outflow is multiplying the discounting factor and outflows. Let me give a different color so that you will be able to get it. So it's this multiplication. Similarly, this will be multiplied with the compounding factor. So we get the future values. I hope you people are doing it over there in your calculator. So equals to this inflow multiplied by compounding factor. So copying it and pasting it down to other cells in my case. Some people will like, sir, ये red में दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. Anyway, let me change it to some other thing. मैं थोड़ा सा light use करता हूँ. Now I guess it should be visible. Good. So what was the formula? Go over there again, check it out. That's our future value of inflows divided by present value of outflows in bracket raised to 1 divided by n minus 1. The same formula as we used to do in the CAGR, right? तो इसका सबका टोटल करना पड़ेगा. सो पीवीसीओ का टोटल कर देते हैं पहले, इक्वल्स टू SUM. तो ये तीनों का टोटल आ रहा है 12,36,862. And let me just do the total of the inflows too. So we get the total over here 62,33,829. Now I am giving you 2 minutes uninterrupted. Please do the calculations and cross verify your answer. Check it out that you are getting the same answer over there. I am waiting for you guys. Don't worry. हमें कोई बस नहीं लेके जाना है अभी, ना तो किसी के शादी में जाना है अभी. मेरी भी बहुत टाइम है, तो हम आराम से करेंगे, धीरे धीरे धीरे. लेकिन समझना पूरा मांगता है भैया. ये तो हमने 2 लेक्चर एक्स्ट्रा लिए, अगर ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो 5 लेक्चर एक्स्ट्रा लेंगे. लेकिन लर्निंग में देयर शुड बी नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज, यू नो. अच्छा, यहाँ तक सबका हो जाए तो थोड़ा सा मेरे को कंफर्मेशन दे देना कि एवरीवन इज देयर विथ मी टिल नाउ. I'm expecting confirmation in the chat box. Giving you 2 minutes uninterrupted. Everyone, please do it. And please put your message in the chat box once it is done. Urja has reached to FV of inflow. Fine, fine. Anyways, take your time. Nothing to be worried about. मेरा तो एक्सेल है इसलिए थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाता है ना. करो करो, आराम से करो बेटा. 2 मिनट आराम से लो. I know you people will be taking the digits only up to 4 decimals after a point. So there will be a bit of an approximation. So your answer and my answer will be slightly different, but that's okay. Won't be putting the major impact on our MIRR. Okay, only Urja has done it till now. I'm expecting the active interaction from others too. Please put the confirmation once it is done, everyone. Mr. Mohit has done as well. Nice to see. Mr. Hardik too. Very nice. बाकी सबको और एक minute. Those who have done it, no, Hardik, Mohit, Urja, you may start with the manual formula now. And when you get stuck, let me know. Okay, Mr. Dhaval has done as well. Nice. Amazing. Okay, let's move ahead. ध्यान में ये रखना है कि आउटफ्लोज है उसकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फाइंड करनी है और जो इनफ्लोज है उसकी फ्यूचर वैल्यू फाइंड करनी है. एज सिंपल एज दैट. Now you may start using this formula manually. Sir, MIRR equals to FV of inflows at reinvestment rate divided by PV of outflows at cost of finance. In bracket raised to 1 divided by n minus 1 after the whole bracket. So FV we have got 62, 33, 829.3 divided by PV we have got is, now see, let's not write it in minus. We were writing it in a minus because Excel couldn't understand that it's an outflow. When you use the MIRR function, then minus will be taken as the outflow. It will be assumed as an outflow by Excel, right? But in our own calculations, you will not be taking it as a minus because then entire answer will be different. So 12, 36, 862.2. 1 divided by n would be how many number of years? 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Up to 10. And then there will be minus 1. So let's solve this bracket first. What do we get? So equals to this divided by 1236. So sir, we get 5.0400 raised to 1 divided by 10 minus 1. Now in Excel, it's quite easy to do this, but if you're doing it manually, then you will have to use either a scientific calculator or you will be using the log table. Because when we are mathematically stuck, we go to a mother of mathematics, which is logarithms, right? Mathematics is the language of this universe. Those who cannot understand that, no, will not be able to understand this universe well. This universe speaks to us in the language of mathematics. It tries to communicate with us in the language of mathematics. How these flowers are grown, how these so many trees are getting implanted and getting destroyed on a gradual basis. How even the basic things of this nature are happening and occurring. How the life cycles of various elements of the nature are dependent on each other. This everything is mathematics. This everything can be understood only by the mathematics. You take any science, no? It may be chemistry, it may be physics, it may be finance, it may be economics. Everywhere the base is always the mathematics. And you should not be afraid of that. I have seen that at an MBA level too, people are pretty much afraid of this. And let me tell you, my friends, your growth is in a thing which you are afraid of. जो चीज से आप डरते हो ना, वही चीज में आपका ग्रोथ है. उसके ऊपर तो ऐसे अटैक करना होता है, ऐसे शेर की तरह. जो चीज से डरते हो उसके सामने अग्रेसिव होना होता है. That was also stated by Chanakya in one of his quotes, that if you find an enemy who is more powerful than you, then attack. That's the only way to fight against your enemy. If you find your enemy is the mathematics, you are unable to deal with the numbers, then attack on mathematics. Be aggressive to that. Why can't you do this? Put more efforts. Put the efforts of biblical proportions. Why can't you do that? Anyway, log tables we have already seen, and if I'll be taking you to over there right now, then I don't have the log tables as well. It is deleted, so let me just find it manually in the Excel. At some other time, I'll take you to the log table, because we have done many exercises in the log table, till now. 5.0400 raised to, in bracket I'm putting 1 divided by 10, then equals to this minus 1. So you get 0.1755. So let me just convert that into a percentage. So that is 17.56%. Now some of you might be slightly concerned, because when we were finding the MIRR by using the formula of Excel, it was coming somewhere around 17.51, and here it is 17.55. So slight difference may occur, because here we have taken the compounding and discounting, and then this raised to 110 will also be little bit approximated. So that's why there may be a slight difference between these two answers, but that's pretty much okay. I hope you have got this 17.56. Am I sounding clear to all of you? यहाँ तक हर एक को हर कुछ चीजें मालूम पड़ी हैं. कुछ भी ऐसा हो जहाँ पे मुझे और एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत है, I have received the confirmation from Mr. Vishal, Miss Urja. If you find the log table, no, then what you will do, please, let's go to that process. Some people might be confused. Let's assume this as an x. X equals to 5.0400 raised to 10. So let's assume the log on both the side. Log x equals to, if anything you take on a log, then it will become in a multiplication. 1 divided by 10 multiplied by log of 5.0400. Now you will get the log of 50 in the table of 4. So 50 is log in the table of 4 you will be taking. And then whatever the value you have, no, divided by 10. Let me just search it if I have a log table right now. Give me just a minute. I need to search it from somewhere. Okay, I have got it. Here I have saved it. Sorry. Just a minute, please. नहीं है. हाँ मिला. Fine. Good. मिल गया. Okay, so what do we do in that? 50 and the value of 4, right? Let's go there. 50. So this is the 50. Let me use a color. And the value of, I guess it starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 7024 will be there. After which there is no digit given to us. It's anyway 0. So mean difference will not be considered. So 7024 will be my answer. And the next question arises that, sir, where to put a decimal? Before point, how many digits you have? 1 digit. So 1 minus 1. So that would be 0.7024 divided by 10. So you will get something equals to 0.7024 divided by 10. So you get 0.07024. That will be equals to log x. Now log x is also there. If it is there on a left hand side, you take it on a right hand side, it will become NT log, right? So x equals to NT log of 0.07024. So you will go to NT log now. After decimal, you will check 0.07, 0 ka value, and the min difference of 2 will be added. Now we'll go to the table of NT log. So sir, 0.7 and the value of 0 and the min difference of 2. So here I have got 0.7, right, in the NT log. Value of 0, so 1175 should be taken. And the min difference of 2. Min difference of 2 is how much? 1. So 1176. 1 will be added over here in this 1175, right? If you can recall it. So 1176. So before point, what is the number? 0. In that number you add 1. So 0 plus 1 will be 1. So your answer should start with 1 digit You should put a point after a one digit in your calculation. So 1.176 will be your answer. So let me just put it over there in the last equation. So equal to 1.176 minus 1. So it will be 0.176, can also be written like 17.6 percentage. Now logarithm will be approximating it to a further extent. The exact answer I have got over here in my case is 17.55. Logarithm will give you 17.6. May I have a confirmation that we have got it, everyone now, all of you? चलो सब कुछ clear है बेटा? Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much, Miss Priska. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohit. Thank you, Urja. Thank you, Nandini. Hardik as well. Nice to see the interaction of many students. Well, that's the end of the third module. MIRR has been discussed. All the capital budgeting techniques has been discussed. Theoretically, we have seen the constraints, we have seen the process of capital budgeting, we have seen the definition of capital budgeting too. And in some of the questions, we have found the cash outflows and inflows as well, you know. Particularly when we were finding the ARR, at that time we have seen the examples of estimation of cash flows too from the profits. So that's effectively the end of the third module. Next module is very, very important one for all the students who wants to know the valuation of shares. You must have heard from the various finance expert that this share is overvalued, this share is undervalued. Now, how this overvalued and undervaluation are decided by? Who decides this? This everything we are going to see in the next fourth module. We'll try to value the shares which is different from the market value we are able to see in the market. And accordingly, we decide that whether the share is undervalued and overvalued, and investment decision may be taken based on that. So amazing module, one of my favorite modules. That is going to be the dividend decision modules, and the valuation of the share will also be discussed extensively in that. We'll be taking 5 to 6 sessions more for that completion. That's it from my side for the day as far as the FM is concerned. Please put your enrollment number, mark your attendance. Do not forget to put that, please. Bye-bye. Take care. Sayonara. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you all with the utmost energy and enthusiasm again in the next session. Bye-bye. Take care.